Okay, brother. Yeah. Very good evening. So today we are continuing the day one session after the demo. Okay. The today our agenda is we are going to talk about if you are setting up the real-time infrastructure setup. Real-time infrastructure setup. Okay. Some XYZ project. How you will be setting up on-prem. How you will be setting up AWS cloud. So before explaining about on-prem and AWS cloud, so first we will discuss about what is meaning of real-time infrastructure setup. Guys, tell me what is meaning of infrastructure? What is meaning of infrastructure? Example, if I'm starting a restaurant, okay, some bakery, okay. So what is my infrastructure? My AC, tables, chairs, cash counter, okay, ovens, and other electronic items, which is baking the food, right? These all are my infrastructure, including building, including power, air conditions. Everything is infrastructure. Am I right? Same way. So here I'm talking about infrastructure means data center. Here I'm talking about the concept is called data center. What is meaning of data center? Okay. So normally in your house, one room we will be dedicating for storeroom. What is the purpose of storeroom we are using? Which are the items if you have access? Which are the items we are rarely are using? Okay. Those items we will keep it in separate room we called as storeroom. Am I right? Similar way, if you are talking about a big company or medium-sized company, a small company, the employees are working. So minimum 10 employees to lakhs of employees are working in the company. So the people are working from office, they're working from home. So definitely the company will be providing laptop and desktop. Am I right? Laptop and desktop they are providing. Okay. So apart from the laptop and desktop, any other system we are using in the company? Mostly no, right? Let me explain. So guys, I want to add one more point here. Okay. I'm just to take into the somewhat side topic. This tool is draw.io. Draw.io is one of the famous drawing tool. Okay. Draw.io is a famous drawing tool which we can create a beautiful diagrams for infrastructures diagrams in your real-time environment. So maybe you want to become an architect. You have a 3 years of experience or 4 years of experience, 5 years, 10 years. Okay. So you want to show them your infrastructure in a diagrammatical level. So normally MS Paint is not that much of beautifully we can present our infrastructure diagrams. So for that, the draw.io, it's a freely available in internet. You can easily download. Okay. So to download this particular, to download this particular application, very simple. Go to draw.io website directly. It will redirecting to app.diagrams.net. It will directly showing this page. So if you're not installed this application on your laptop, it will prompt to download this software. Is a freely available, no license is required. No license is required. Once you download and install, okay, in the start menu, you will get a draw.io software icon will be there. This is an orange and white combination. One software will be available. Just you have to click here. Even without installing also, you can practice directly from the web browser. Okay, web browser is not that much of comfortable. You can practice this. Better you can download and install on your system. After you open this, it will ask, hey, do you want to create a new diagrams like this? Yes, you can create. Actually, I already prepared some infrastructure diagram for my previous batch. So it looks so beautiful, right? When I'm explaining any concepts. Yeah. So from the day one, I'm going to use this tool explaining each and every architecture diagram, pin and pin to pin. I'll explain here. Each and every item I will draw and I will show the connectivity. What are the communication process? Everything I'll explain with this tool. So you also can download the same tool, and end of the class, this particular file I will save and I'll store in the cloud Google Drive. The link I will share with you. You can download the same file to your local system. You can open with the draw.io. Without draw.io, the file is not open. Understand? Even if you are interested, you can preparing this type of diagram. You can practice parallelly. No issues. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So for every time I'll be creating like this kind of diagrams. So today I'm going to prepare a new file, save a new file, maybe like this, create a new file like this, create a new diagram, blank diagram, create. So now this file, I'm going to save it in my desktop. There's a draw.io. In 2023, I'm going to give this folder name is 6 p.m. batch. Okay, later on I'll change accordingly. So 6 p.m. This file name also I make it as a 6 p.m. Right. So let's come back to the topic. Okay, let's come back to the topic. I'm going to explain about what is meaning of infrastructure. Example, you can take a company. This is a company. This is a company. In this company, you guys are working here. You guys are working. So like this, multiple people are working here. So some companies are 100 employees, 200 employees, 1,000 employees, or 50,000 employees, or 1 lakh employees are working like this. So these employees are getting a laptop and desktop from the company. So somebody, they will get desktop, somebody will get laptops. Am I right? Somebody will get desktop, somebody will get laptops like this. Other than this desktop and laptop, any other device they're using from the company, these employees, other than computer, other than laptop, any other device they're using?
No.
No, I
Yes, sir.
think no.
Mobile.
Sorry, mobile is your mobile. Okay. Maybe if a company is provided mobile, okay, up to because of they're not giving a allow to provide your mobile because of your availability. That's why they provided mobile. Okay. Otherwise, nothing. Okay. Even my previous company, they provided iPhone. The company is not giving so much of love on me because of I want to support. That's why they provided iPhone. iPhone is completely controlled from the cloud. Okay. So every call will be tracking. So whatever the activity I'm doing, everything is tracking. So even mobile also they're providing. Okay. So leave about the mobile. So we're not talking about the mobile, about only computers. So desktop computer and laptop computers they're providing. Other than this particular systems, no other devices we are using in our company. Sometimes we are working from home, sometimes we are working from office. Well and good. But daily we are updating our timesheet. We are chatting with one person to another person in the team. So if you have a huge amount of data, we'll keep the data into the network file share. Yeah. And some kind of mail server we are using to access the mail. So where these servers are stored. So in the same company, separate area, separate room or floor, they will be setting up. Those servers. So like example, database servers. Okay. mail server, DHCP server, file server, file server. So like this, these important servers are stored in separate location, which is called data center. So mainly the data center is some important servers are stored in separate location, separate floor or separate building. Okay. They're providing some space to store the servers. Do you know, in this particular servers, who is managing? Any idea? They have a separate team called data center administrators. Those people are managing these servers. But again, the services wise, these servers are managing by separate application owner and application team and service team. Example, the Active Directory, DNS, DHCP, these services are managing by AD team. File share services are managing by storage admin team. And DB related services are managed by database team. So like a different people are managing different services. All the servers are configured in the separate data center for the company. This is called a data center. So as a normal user, the person can able to access the particular services from the laptop and desktop, but they don't have direct communicating to the services which is running inside the data center. Understand? Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Any other questions here?
No, no, sir.
No. Suppose, this company, some ABC Limited company, ABC Limited company, they set up this infrastructure, the worth of 100 crores. So 100 CR, 100 crores, they spent to build this server. 100 crores to set up this data center, providing the services to the clients and the users. So it's a very highly secured zone. So nobody cannot enter without the permissions of the data center admins. Suppose this particular data center, wherever we create it, like maybe in a separate floor, separate building. Okay. In case any software problem, any hardware problem, any natural calamities problem, if this data center is goes down, what will happen? These services are not able to access. These services are not able to access. So these users not able to access the services, the complete production will be down. So guys, you can tell me, in case if this data center, any situation and any reason, if this is down, how can you provide the redundancy? Redundancy means the second way you can access the services without a delay, without losing the data, without taking much time. The users continuously accessing the services, disturbing the network or disturbing the work. So what you'll suggest? Anybody can tell me? What we can suggest?
ఇంకొక డేటా సెంటర్ తో కమ్యూనికేట్ అవుతాయేమో సార్.
No. My question is very clear. Suppose this is down, right? There's some situation, unexpected situation. Okay, unexpected situation. All of a sudden, earthquake in the particular location. Okay, the complete data center is collapsed, but users not able to access the services, right?
ఓకే.
So
ఎస్ సార్.
how we can avoid this situation? How can avoid this situation? Earthquake we cannot avoid, right? So what is the redundancy? What is your second plan, second thought to access the same services even after some time, maybe 5 minutes or 10 minutes after, without accessing this servers, maybe in some other area, can you able to access it? Yes, we can. So that means we need to we need to set up the same type of data center, one more data center. So like this, one more data center, if you are configuring, okay, one more data center, if you are configuring in a different location, in a different location like this. So this is a primary data center. This is a data center one. Okay. This is a data center one. This is a data center two. Now we have any problem? So if the data center is a primary data center, users are connected. Unfortunately, the data center one is down. The data center two from another location, users able to access, right? These applications and services.
Yes, sir.
So now this particular data center one and data center two, they're connecting each other. What are the services are connecting from the data center one? Each and everything will be replicating to the secondary data center. So that's the way they will configure. That's why they'll configure. Suppose if the data we updated in this particular database server, the data information will be updating into the secondary server. They'll be updating in the secondary server. So even though if this data server is down and we able to access the data here. Okay. Am I clear?
Clear, sir. Yes.
So what is the main problem? So here I spend 100 crores to set up the second data center also. 100 crores I need to set up. This is happy or very sad news for me. Maybe I'm the owner for this company. So I'm setting up this primary data center with 100 crores. So if you want to set up the second data center also 100 crores, what will happen? So it's a very burden on me, right?
Yes.
So
Yes, sir.
most of the people are facing these challenges in real-time environment. Most of the people are facing this problem in the real-time environment. Okay. So to managing the secondary data center, to managing the secondary data center. Okay, but there is no other opportunity. The people are managing this. So this is called primary data center. This is we called a secondary data center or alternative data center or also backup data center. Also disaster recovery data center, DR site. This is a primary site. This is a secondary site or DR site. So what are the words? What are the technical words I'm using? All the communications we are already talking in the real-time environment. So from the today onwards, you all are employee of my training group. Okay. So everybody you need to talk in that level only. Okay. Previously you don't know, but today onwards you are with me. So you need to talk always in the technical words. Maybe you don't know how to talk. Please ask me. I'll give the words. You can talk that. Understand? So from the today onwards, you need to change your thinking in a high level only, in the real time level only, you need to think. So these are the main problems we are facing it because of these data centers are physical data center. The physical data center management is very, very tough job. So this tough job, we need to make it easy. Okay. With some new technologies. So that's we are going to discuss in next 5 to 10 minutes. So let me find out what are the problems we are facing in the traditional computer architecture. So these data centers are traditional computing data center. That means a physical servers we are hosting on the data center place. What is meaning of physical server? Physical computer, that's it. Whatever your desktop you are using, whatever the server you are using, the same physical computer you are storing on the data center. So you can check that physical computer. If you check this, this is the physical computer. Okay. This is a physical computer, right? So now this physical computer basically, okay, So physical computer means like this. So these type of computers, they'll be setting up in the data center. So these type of computer have very less configuration. So we have only one operating system we can install, only few applications and few services we can run. So these type of servers previously they used in the data center. So those type of servers we called as tower servers. Previously we used these type of servers we used in the data center. These type of servers. These servers we called as tower servers. These servers we called as tower servers. This type of computers we are using. Even nowadays also we are using small companies are using small companies are using. These are the data center. Okay.
Yeah, Rajesh, are you there?
Sorry, I'm speaking on mute. Okay. See, these are the type of desktop computers we are using in the data center previously. So these data centers, basically we called as traditional computing data centers. Each server, we have only one operating system we are installing. Example, let's take this diagram. Okay. Let's take this copy image and we can keep here. We can keep here. Okay. Even you can copy the image and you can keep it in diagram also. If you don't have images, you can directly copy and you can paste it here. Very simple. So this particular server, it has a 3 layers. Okay. It has a 3 layers. So layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. Layer 1, layer 2, and layer 3. So layer 1 is a hardware layer. That means the physical computer. So in that motherboard, RAM, CPU, hard disk, everything is available. So only physical hardware, only physical hardware. On the top, we are installing operating system. This operating system either Windows or Linux or Unix. So maybe other operating systems. So by using this operating system, we are installing some applications, apps, or maybe services. Services. Services means like a web services, database services, file share services, etc., etc. Okay. So these are the way we are installing and we are managing it. Understand? So in the physical computer, hardware, operating system, and applications and services we are managing it. So this model we called as traditional based computer architecture. We called as traditional based computer architecture. This is called as traditional based computer architecture. So these are the servers we are using in the data center previously. So with that, we have a lot of problems are there. Problem number one. So this server very low configuration, RAM and CPU. So that only limited number of applications and services we can install and configure and we can use it. So even users also very limited people they can connect. Very limited people they can connect. Problem number one. Problem number two. So this server is somewhat big size, right? If you are keeping multiple servers in the data center, we need a rack space should be somewhat big and even the room also occupying here. So cables, network cables, power cables. So It's a clumsy area. So clumsy way the communication will be get connected in the data center previously. And problem number three, the server, once in 5 to 7 years, the server will become older, performance will be down, and we are throwing out and we are buying a new server. So that means entire data center every 5 to 7 years, once we're recreating with the new servers. So that means every 5 to 7 years, previously I told now 100 crores we are setting up the budget for building a data center. So 5 to 7 years means every 5 to 7 years, whatever the budget we have allocated for building the data center, so that much of amount I need to keep it here. So again, inside this problem, one more problem is there. In this example, 5 years back, I purchased one phone, cost is maybe 20,000 or 25,000. Nowadays, 30,000, 35,000, 40,000 because of new models, new features, okay, new trend. Same way, servers also same thing. So if you keep on day by day, the server cost is increasing. So maybe 5 years back or 7 years back, if you have set up the data center with 100 crores, now if you have set up the data center cost will be maybe 110 crores or maybe 105 crores. It's a very burden on me. Okay. So these are the main problems they are finding it in this particular infrastructure area. These are the main infrastructure area we are facing. These are the problems. So after identifying, so these are the problems they have overcome with the new technology. So the technology called as virtualization technology. Okay. The technology called as virtualization technology. Okay. Virtualization technology. Virtualization technology. Right. So with this virtualization technology, okay, we are able to overcome what are the problems we faced in the previous technology. Almost 90% of the problems we solved. Okay. This technology called as virtualization. Let me explain the definition, the end of the topic. What is meaning of virtualization? So previously we had taken the tower server, right? Now this time we'll take a rack server. Now this time we will take a rack server. So this type of rack server is available in the market. Okay. This type of rack server is available in the market. This is a rack server. Okay. So guys, if you want to add the image, so just you had to drag and drop to the scratch pad. So in future, if you want, you can directly click here and you can add the images like this. Okay. Very simple. Very simple. Okay. So this type of servers we are buying. This type of servers we are buying in the nowadays. So what is this? This is also CPU. This is also computer. But this computer we called as this computer we called as a rack server. This computer we called as rack server. So this rack server basically we'll keep it like this one by one. The servers we are keep it like this. Okay. So these servers we are arranging in sequentially in one of the rack. So this rack we called as rack enclosure. Okay. This is called rack enclosure. Rack enclosure. So this rack enclosure we need to separately we need to buy and we need to keep it in the data center and we can insert the servers. Okay. We can insert the server. The server will be connecting to network, right? The switches, power sockets, everything we can keep it in this particular iron rack. This iron rack we called as rack enclosure. Rack enclosure. So nowadays, such a big data centers like Amazon, Google, other companies are using this. So one of the server in that particular rack we called as rack server. So That's the one piece only I'm explaining here. So this server basically, it's maintain the, okay, the complete, the hardware they'll assembled in this particular device. The front end, mostly you can see the hard disks. Yeah, these are the front, whatever you're showing, these are small blocks, right? These are the hard disks. So in first row, 3 hard disks, in second row, 3 hard disks, total 4 rows, 4 into 3, 12 hard disks we can insert. Just we have to push this button and pull off, and we can take out the hard disk. Maybe you can insert the hard disk and we have to push it. Just plug and play. It's a plug and play device. We can easily manage. Normally in the desktop, we need to take the screwdriver, we need to remove the screw, we need to take out the hard disk, and we have to replace. It's a very old technology. Now it is very simple. Just we have to remove and reinsert. Okay, remove and insert. This is such a flexible concept. So now in this server, we are going to build a virtualization technology. In this particular server, we are going to build a virtualization technology. Hey, what is meaning of virtualization technology? We are building on the rack server. Let me explain. So there are so many companies are developing hypervisor softwares. Okay. So many companies, they're developing hypervisor softwares. Okay. Hypervisor softwares. Hypervisor is also software. Okay. So this hypervisor software we are installing on this particular system. Okay. The hypervisor software we are installing on this particular system. So once this hypervisor is installed, this server becomes as a hypervisor server. What is the use? Previously, only one operating system only we run, right, in this particular computer. Now, in this computer, okay, with the help of this hypervisor, we can create a multiple virtual machines. Okay, multiple computers we can create like this with a different operating system. Okay, different operating system we can create. Okay, how many computers we can create on the hypervisor? Depends on the storage, depends on the RAM, depends on the CPU. That means depends on your hardware capacity. Depends on the hardware capacity. We can create a n number of means some number, right? So virtual machines, we called as virtual machines. We can call it as computers, and we also called as virtual machines. Okay. This is virtual machines. Any other question?
No, sir.
No, everybody's clear, right? Huh? Perfect. So mostly this type of environment, very rarely you are seeing. Okay, because of in the training area, these servers they're unable to presenting you because of these servers are very costly servers. Okay, these servers are very costly servers. Minimum cost is like a 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs like that. So don't worry. Our own server, I already explained in the demo session yesterday. Okay, so I have a Dell. Okay, I have Dell R710 server with me. Yeah, I have purchased on my own. Okay, so Dell rack server 710 model I purchased. So in that particular Dell R71 server, I install hypervisor software. So basically the software is VMware ESXi. So I have installed VMware ESXi software is installed. There's so many hypervisor brands are available like VMware, Citrix, Microsoft, Red Hat. Okay, there's so many products are there. But world's number one virtualization hypervisor product is VMware. So that's why I'm taking number one product over here. So I already installed VMware ESXi, and this server access I will given to everyone in this batch. Okay, are you happy? So this server access I will provide to everybody in this batch. If you want, you can use. If you don't want, you can leave it. No problem. Okay. If you want, you can use it. If you don't want, you can leave it. That's your up to your wish. I'm not forcing to anyone. Everybody you can. Please take this opportunity. Very, very rare opportunity it comes means you have to take it. So this server I have set up in my separate room, my classroom. That classroom means my private space. This server I'm providing remotely everybody you can connect and you can manage it. So basically this server IP address is, this server IP address is 192.168.1.75. This IP address is 192.168.1.75. So let me connect this IP address to this server. Okay. So how I'll be connecting, and I'm going to create one virtual machine for you today in next 5 minutes. So for this, I just open my browser 192.168.1.75 in the browser. I just hit enter. I directly connected to my VMware ESXi. Okay, guys, I'm sitting in my house in the first floor. My server is in penthouse, that is the third floor. Okay, my house is completely a setup in just like a real-time infrastructure setup. Okay, my house is completely converted to office. Okay, so people are staying there and living, my tenants. But anyhow, the complete network I designed it. So I can connect from my penthouse, I can connect from my first floor, I can connect from my tenant house, I can connect from my ground floor, everywhere I can connect. So that's why the network I set up. Because of I'm a network engineer, whichever is possible, I connected all the kind of network I configured it. Okay, so don't worry, all my technical skills I will download